Imagine you were in the trenches of World War II. Or imagine you are in the Wild West going out to find gold in the gold rush. Or imagine you were traveling on a horseback through the Great Plains. Or imagine you are a cowboy roaming through Texas. Or imagine you are an American Indian dominating your territory in the face of the foreigners. Imagine you actually had a story to tell your great-grandchildren and your grandchildren and even your children. Because the reality is, most of you won't. The current men of today are overweight, they are broke but saying they are trying to get money. They have never lived outside of their state they were born in. They haven't done anything even slightly interesting in 10 years. They have no ambition. They indulge in every modern convenience and comfort there is. So what story will they have to tell? What will they have to show for all the time that has made up of their life? The men of the past had a story to tell. The men of our past did not biohack, have a 9-step morning routine, buy the new courses, buy the newest Gucci Dior drop, participate in looks maxing, or adjust their belief for the sake of politically correctness. The men of our past smoked tobacco, drank whiskey, broke the rules, and still built this very world we're living in. The men of our past led their families, showed compassion, and ultimately died for all that they believed in. When this world questioned the men of our past, they did not fold or make explanations for who they were, but rather they replied back, "I am that I am." I welcome you to the full guide for building your character as a young man. So many of you guys grew up playing games like Red Dead Redemption. You grew up playing games like GTA. You grew up playing video games in general. And as a kid, we failed to realize, and a lot of you still fail to realize, that this life is no different than those games. Why is that? Because this life itself is a game. We're so far from base reality that, this is a game. This is not what you guys think that it is. This is a realm where you become everything that you choose to be. You have complete control over who you choose to be. And so many of you guys focus on things such as self-improvement. The self-improvement topic, the self-improvement subculture, and just the word self-improvement disgusts me. And let me tell you guys why. Self-improvement disgusts me because a lot of you guys think just because you got up this morning and you meditated and you might have went to work out that you're better than somebody else, that's actually working. You think that because you type in a video, I'm gonna sit here and watch this self-improvement video and feel good. You're the worst of them all. You're worse than the people that aren't even doing that, because you're not doing anything. That's the most feminine thing you could ever do. So we're going to put an end to all of that, and I have been sent to give you guys the proper teaching and give you guys the proper opportunity for us that want to separate ourselves to actually become something great in this world and actually be what we're supposed to be. And so I want to tell you guys that building your character as a young man is what these self-improvement internet gurus are attempting to be. It is what, the men of our past were. That this self-improvement era ends today. And I'm about to break down exactly why you must build your character, how to build your character, and the steps of character building in its entirety. So we're about to get into it. All right, so decide to live life. Competition is life, but it's all encompassing. I need you guys to understand that. So decide to live life. Competition is a part of this life. I need everyone to understand that. So, it's so many people, right, that I'm seeing say, well, we can't all be millionaires. You're right. We can't all be millionaires. We can't all get the top 1%. You're right. Everyone can't be in the top 1%. That's a fact. So it's not about a just blanket general teaching. That's not what the world needs right now. And that's not what you guys need to be focusing on. I tell you guys and I teach you guys how to focus on you. It's developing you. And that's why character is over self-improvement, and character is what self-improvement is imitating, and it just allows you guys to sit there and be comfortable. But building your character, leveling up your character as a man, as if you would level up your character in a video game, is exactly what you should be doing. Now, it doesn't matter if you want the Rolls Royce in the penthouse or you want to go off grid and you want the Jeep, the off-road Jeep. It doesn't matter. This life is abundant. This life is abundant, and you got to tailor make it to you. You got to tailor make it to you. You know, so either way, though, it doesn't matter, right? You know, everybody's different. Everybody wants different things, but this character development is something that will help all of us, no matter what it is you're striving for, and each other, all of us, no matter whether you want the Rolls Royce, I want the off-road Jeep, and I'm going off grid. You want the Rolls Royce in the penthouse with the ceiling floor windows. Guess what? We're still brothers, though. We're still brothers, though, because this entrepreneurship journey is one aspect. You know, what the men of our past were and what we're bringing back in the tribe, what we're bringing back in general, just the energy of this new era that we're stepping into in the year of 2024. You got to understand that we transcended money. We transcended this paper currency. We transcended, you know, this materialistic world. We're talking about real manhood, real brotherhood, and real character. And you're going to need character, and you're going to be a man of character in either of the two situations or any situations in between. There's a million different ways to get to the top of the mountain, and many of you guys want different things, and that's fine. You know, but at the end of the day, I base my brotherhood and the people that I call my brother off of their character, not what they possess, not even what they're getting after. It's off of solely their character, their level of ambition, you know, and their loyalty to the cause of manhood in general. So let me explain to you guys why character development is so important. First of all, for example, right, let's say you have level 1 here and then you have level 11. So in all of my examples, you know, I want you to understand that level 11 is going to be the highest level in these examples. So when you're developing your character, right, you were born at level 1. And a lot of you guys that are doing this self-improvement and you think that you're better than everybody else, you're still at level 1. Yeah, you're still at level 1. A lot of you guys that do that self-improvement nonsense and this 1,000-step morning routine and I'm gonna do this and that, not saying that some of that stuff can't be useful, but I'm just saying that don't take priority over getting after it every single day. Because look, I'm gonna keep it straight up with y'all. I woke up when I wanted to wake up today, and I've still done more work than all of you guys with this 1,000-step routine, and you think you better than somebody else, but you still can't compete with the real men in this. You can't compete with us because your character development's on level 1 and I'm on level 11. You see what I'm saying? So we're not even experiencing the same type of life. You don't even get the same, you're not even blessed with the same type of opportunities or have the same favor over your life as I do, because you're still on level 1, but you're too ignorant to think that. You're too boastful to think that, because you think that you're better than someone else because you're listening to someone else that got all their money from telling you something in the first place. You see what I mean? But, you know, the character development is super important, though. For those of you guys that want to learn, and those of you guys that want to actually level up your character, you know, think about it in terms of how you level the character up in a video game, right? There's different stats and skill sets, and, you know, so we're about to get into the phases of this character development, you know, and the first phase is physical strength. Right now, you have different skill sets that make up your character development. You have different mindsets. It's multifaceted, but I will put physical strength first for a couple of different reasons. So I put physical strength first because, number one, you know, if you feel strong, you're getting confidence from the very beginning. A lot of you guys, even though, you know, you might have been meditating, you might have been reading, you might have been doing different things, you don't feel confident as a man. And I guarantee you, if you become strong or you learn how to fight, or you do a combination of all those things, you know, and have confidence in you being able to handle interactions with other men, you know, you will feel differently about yourself. You'll walk differently, you'll talk differently, you'll get a new level of confidence. And so I want you guys to understand that physical strength is also number one, because you got to be healthy. You know, you got to be healthy in this, and you got to be able to increase your testosterone, especially in the world we're living in today. So physical strength also will build discipline. It will build discipline in you as well to, you know, achieve a physique of your liking. And I want you to understand that, like, when it comes down to how other people are going to view you, your physical strength is extremely important. You know, when a person looks at you, they need to see what you're doing when no one's there. They need to look at you and see that you're disciplined by the way that you appear. You know, that is extremely important. And so physical strength is one aspect of character development. So now we also have mental emotional strength, right? And this is what a lot of you guys need to work on the most, is that mental emotional strength, right? You're gonna be in storms your whole life. As a man, you're gonna be in storms your whole life, but it's your responsibility to be that, solid rock, that solid bed of rock that these emotional waves are crashing into for everyone else. Everyone else is gonna call you with problems. Everyone else is gonna get emotional. Everyone else is gonna need you to be solid and unmovable, unwavering, not non-compromising, and to be at the helm of this ship and, be able to navigate through these storms and stay calm, and stay in the game and stay focused. That's what you are being dependent upon. And that is a major part of your character development as a young man. And that's why I tell you guys to put yourself in testosterone boosting situations and put yourself in situations where it requires you to develop this to survive. You see, that's another thing. So many of you guys want to be strong without having to actually be strong. You guys want strength for no reason, right? You think that you can have strength but never have to use it, or not have had to use it to even acquire it in the first place. And it makes no sense, right? This life was not meant for you to be safe in the harbor with this ship. This ship was built to be put in the storm. You got to put it to the test. You got to put that ship to the test. You got to put that captain to the test, and you got to go find new territory, because that's what it was created to do. That's what the captain's job is, and that's what this ship was created to do. Now, it's safe on the harbor. It's safe. There, nothing's going to happen to it. But so many of you guys are so afraid. As a young man, you're so afraid to put yourself in situations that are testosterone boosting and risky. But that's what we were built to do. That is what the man's role even is. So in your character development, as far as mental emotional strength goes, I truly believe that you can only gain, level up in that area based off of what situations you've put yourself in and how far you're willing to go within them. Because I'll tell you guys right now that all of my levels up from mental emotional strength came from me putting myself in situations that led to situations that I could not predict. Right? Every last one of us is gonna come across situations that you cannot predict. You cannot plan out, you cannot predict. And that is when your mental emotional strength is tested, whenever you didn't even have time to prepare for it, and how fast you can, buckle down and get through it. And so that mental emotional strength can only be built through suffering. It can only be built through tough situations. It can only be built through actually stepping outside that box, which is why self-improvement will never improve this. Self-improvement will never improve your mental emotional strength, because self-improvement is only within the confines of what you can control. But your mental emotional strength will only grow outside of the confines and stepping into situations that you could not control, that you could not plan for. That's when you really learn who you are. I'm really learning who I am right now. It happens over and over again, and you have to realize that, sometimes I truly believe that the great spirit, the creator, God, I believe that the ancestors also wish to see the true strength of your being. So sometimes, you got to view it from that perspective and just tell yourself just one more week, one more day, one more week, it's right there, and, keep attacking. And that's when that mental emotional strength resolve and that mental emotional level up will occur. And you have to put yourself in those situations to even experience that. So in addition to that, we have your spiritual strength and your belief in oneself, right? So when it comes to your spiritual strength, I want everyone to understand that whatever you choose to believe as far as your religious doctrine or, the way that you believe, it belongs to you. Whatever gets the job done for you. But I'll tell you guys this, though. This is a level of your character development, that faith that you have in your higher power, that faith that you have in you. Because I would often, I tell you guys this all the time, and especially in the tribe, and I want you to understand that the way that you view, like, the faith and belief that you have in the Creator is the faith and belief that it will be reflected in you. because you and the creator, at the end of the day are one. So the way that you believe in yourself is going to be the way you believe in the creator. The way you believe in the creator is going to be the way that you believe in you. It's going to, be fully transparent and fully attached to each other. So, that spiritual strength will occur also when you put yourself in, testosterone boosting situations. But it also comes from, diving deep and doing things like meditating, meditating with a purpose and, actually seeking answers, actually, doing spiritual things, within your life, and doing it with pure intentions, doing it with a pure heart, and actually aiming to connect to the creator. And in doing so, you will realize that belief and faith that you have in the creator that created all of creation is the same belief and faith that you'll have in you. It's a direct reflection. And also, you guys got to understand that intellectual strength is a part of this as well, right? Intellectual strength is also a part of you guys' character development, right? How much are you reading? How much information can you obtain? Because I want a lot of you guys to understand that you think that your life is bad. You think that, a lot of you guys aim for the more emotional solution to problems, when in reality, the problem more often than not is a lack of action combined with the lack of information. Though information is readily available, you guys don't actually dive into that information, nor do you comprehend that information, and you lack taking action in your life. So therefore, you will be left with the consequence of that, which is not enjoying your existence, because you're not partaking in the creation of that existence. And so this intellectual strength will allow you to understand and view life from a greater perspective, and the intellectual strength will lead to accumulation in the long run. You see, all of these aspects combine and attach to each other, and that intellectual strength is a big part of your character development. As far as what are you reading, what are you reading, what are you watching, what are you listening to? It all needs to be intellectual, all of it. Like at this point, what entertains me even is intellectual stuff. So I want everyone to understand that is extremely important. So in addition to that, right, we have financial strength. Financial strength meaning, what kind of money are you getting to? What kind of business are you building? What kind of investment accounts do you have? What kind of cryptocurrency accounts do you have? Your overall understanding on financials, your overall understanding on how money works, your understanding on how to provide value to a marketplace, your understanding on, you as a man, what do you want to do for currency? How do you want to structure your life so that you will have currency? Like all of that is really tailor fitted to you, but it is an aspect of your overall character development. So I want everyone to understand, right, that you take this character development, you take all of those aspects, you take this physical strength, you take this mental emotional strength, you take this spiritual strength, you take this intellectual strength, you take this financial strength, and you can level up, right? You level up within each of these skill sets individually, but combining all of that will give you your overall character as a man. That's you as a man. At the end of the day, it's going to be you as a man. This is what you guys need to be focusing on. This is what all of us need to be focusing on. I need you to understand that, like, who cares about, like, because people will say, well, I meditated for X amount of hours this week, or I read this many books, or I went to the gym this many times. And you look at them and they are just the opposite of what a man is. They're the opposite of what a man is. Now, those can, attribute to aspects of it, but the problem really is that you guys are not living life. You're not living life. Like reading, that's all that you guys do. You do this self-improvement stuff and you don't live your life. You do the self-improvement, don't live your life. You fake like you want to be an entrepreneur, but you're not doing shit about really getting money, because you don't know anything. You don't have the character to get money. So you're not really doing nothing to get money. You're just watching content and you're wasting your life, because when it's all said and done, the only story you're going to have is a story that you saw other men tell them when they was lying to you anyway. So I want you guys to understand that we are young men. We are young men, so the top priority is maxing out each of these categories so that you can max out your character as a man. That is what is the most important. Many of you guys focus just on the spiritual aspect. Many of you guys focus just on the financial aspect. Many of you guys focus just on the physical aspect. Some of you guys focus just on the intellectual aspect, not understanding that you need to be maxed out. You need to do all of them. The goal is your character as a man, and so many of you guys don't understand that. Level up your character like you level up the characters in these games, because your life can be viewed that way as well, because this is not a real reality. You will die one day. You will die, and what will be said about you? You will die, and what stories will you have told before you died? What life will you have lived? Because if you ask me, I want to roam this earth. If you ask me, I want to be able to have stories that I forget, to tell my children, that, one day they come around and I'm like, they say something that sparks my memory and it takes me all the way back. One time I was on the side of a mountain and this happened. Or one time I was in this country and this happened. Or, one time, I was doing this and had to survive, and, this is what happened, but we made it happen. And now look at where we're at. Like, the story is everything, and living out that adventure. I think so many of you guys are using self-improvement. You're using the YouTubers, these internet gurus. You're using all of these things as a coping mechanism because you're not strong enough to live a real story. And I just want you guys to know that you can become strong enough to live a real story. We all start at level 1, man. Everyone that you look up to right now started at level 1. Everyone that I look up to started at level 1. I started at level 1. And this, in reality, I don't believe you could ever even max out your character as a man. I don't believe you could max out, level 11 is just this, examples max, but I believe that you would do all of these for the rest of your life. And so if you're going to do all of these for the rest of your life, then make sure that you have a story to tell. Make sure that when it's all said and done, you were like the men of our past who remained unconquered, who remained steadfast in the exploration. They were not this modern day domesticated man. That's one of the saddest things, and the saddest story you could ever tell is if you end up being the domesticated man that wasn't wild, that didn't do what he wanted to do, didn't be anything he wanted to be, doesn't have anything, out of shape, settled, all of that stuff. Don't be that man. Don't be that man. And it's solely up to you whether you be that man or not. But I want so many of the young men to understand that, like, it's okay that you don't care about being an entrepreneur. It's okay that you don't care about certain things. Like, it's your life. And even when it comes to entrepreneurship, that needs to be tailor fitted to you. That needs to be tailor fitted to you. You need to understand that you need to build the life that you want. That's what it's really about. It's not about entrepreneurship. It's not about meditation. It's not about self-improvement. It's only about this character. And it's only about the character because you need to build the life that you want.